In the winter of 1959, 9 university students died mysteriously while hiking in the Ural Mountains located in the former Soviet Union. Details never leaked out to the public until well after the fall of the Iron Curtain due to the unusual circumstances contained in the report. The bodies of the hikers were found not far from their camp, which had been nearly destroyed. Investigators followed footprints to what looked to be the site of a small bonfire in the first 2 bodies. Inexplicably, they were clad only in their underwear, despite the bitter Russian winter. It was as if some force drove them from their camp before they could even dress. 3 more were found in another location, looking as if they were trying to return to their doomed camp after their companions succumbed to hypothermia. None of the bodies were dressed for winter, some without even shoes, and others with only strips of cloth on their feet, torn from the clothing of the already dead. If the circumstances were unusual, the autopsies proved to be completely bizarre. One of the students had major fractures to his skull, and another 2 had their ribs completely smashed. No external wounds or trauma were found. Medical experts compared the injuries to a high-speed car crash, stating it would be impossible for another human being to create injuries of their type without an external wound. Another camper, a young woman, had her tongue missing. While investigators initially suspected foul play, no footprints were found near any of the bodies other than the student's own. Adding to the mystery, the bodies were all shown to have high levels of radioactive contamination. 9 years after the incident in the Ural Mountains, another group of hikers were found dead, this time in the Caucasus. The incident occurred in the late summer this time. However, many similarities were present. The hikers' campsite was found destroyed, and the campers were forced to flee with little or no provisions. Rather than being spread out, the bodies were all found within a dozen yards of each other in a nearby clearing. The scene was described as horrifying by police. The bodies were positioned as if thrown at great speed, and postured as if their bones had been smashed to splinters. The results of the medical investigation were immediately sealed by the Soviet government. Again, each of the 6 bodies presented high doses of radiation, despite a normal background radiation level near the site of the deaths. During autopsy, the medical examiner discovered that the initial description of the hikers' bones being smashed was incorrect. Their entire skeletal structures were missing, despite having no external wounding whatsoever. High levels of calcium and other nutrients were found in their blood and surrounding tissues. It was as if someone had somehow rapidly liquefied the victims' bones. Crime scene photos also revealed the clearing that the bodies were found in was not natural. Topographical maps taken only months before had shown the area to be a lush forest. Entire trees were smashed to splinters in a path more than 20 meters wide and over a 200-meter area. Despite the Soviet crackdown on all information, it eventually leaked out, as all such information does. Of all research available, only one entity could have been responsible. Something that was not meant for our Earth. Something that struck fear into the heart of a certain insane Arab.